I've been thinking why we value certain things more than other things. And I came up with a lot of theories. And one of them was that we value things, all right? We value things just because others value it, and not because we by ourselves give it value. The best example that I can give you to explain this is money. I actually wanted to take out a note and explain, like a paper note and explain. I'll be right back. So this is a paper note. And the paper note is basically just a piece of paper. At the core, this is just a paper, but we give it a lot of value because we know that others are valuing it as well. We know that this is a currency and people will give me things for this. This paper by itself doesn't have any value. And even you would start to give it a lot more value because you would understand, you would realize that this piece of paper can help you trade for food, shelter, to start a new business, for your transportation, whatever you name it. The value is not the paper by itself, but it's the value for the collective agreement that is there in the society. So once everyone in the society sees something as a valuable thing, you automatically begin to value it. So a lot of things in this world is just a shared illusion that we all believe in. Once you start seeing this with a paper note, you begin to see this everywhere around you. For an example, let's take a watch. A very valuable luxury watch that costs hundreds and thousands. And the same watch displays the time that a random cheap $10 watch would. Now, this watch that costs hundreds of thousands displays the same time that a watch that you can get in a very local store for, like, let's say $10 would display. It's the same thing, it's the same time, but the value is tremendously different. If you buy a Rolex watch, the objective is not just to see the time. The objective is not to check the time and be punctual for the meeting. But the objective is to basically create a value for yourself in the society. A cheap watch you would get from a local store for just $5. It's basically the same. It basically has the same function of a Rolex. I know the Rolex is going to have much more efficient system and it's going to be more precise, but at the core, it's very identical, but the value is different. I think this is very relevant for a lot of things that we use in our daily lives. For example, a plain black t-shirt like this, like the one I'm wearing, if, let's say, Gucci was written on this, or Balenciaga or Armani was written on this, I could sell it for a lot of money, but it's basically the same t-shirt. Well, maybe the material is different, the guy who stitched it was a very good professional guy, but there is a value that people relate to when something's labeled on top of it. I think this is also how the celebrity culture functions. A person becomes famous. Now millions of people knows that person, and all of a sudden this person has a value. And the corporations, the big multinational companies are racing to make this person their brand ambassador. This celebrity would not have become more smart when he or she became a celebrity. They would not have become more talented when they became a celebrity. It's an illusion. All of a sudden, they have a value. And this value is created by collective attention. This value is created by collective attention. The very fact that a lot of people are paying attention to them. We value a lot of celebrities just because a lot of people know them. If you have a celebrity in your family, let's say a celebrity is your relative, yeah? If a celebrity is your relative, you're going to be known as the relative of that particular celebrity. People are going to introduce you as a relative of this famous celebrity. A few weeks back, I was attending a conference, and there were a couple of students inside of this room, including me. And someone just stood up and said, "This girl you see, she's the cousin of so-and-so celebrity." And everyone was like, "Whoa, that's amazing, that's incredible." Now, the value is not for the celebrity. The value is not for this girl who was the cousin of the celebrity. But the value was for the fame and the collective attention that was being related, that was being paid, the collective attention that the celebrity had. The attention was not for the celebrity as a person. The attention was not for this girl who was the cousin of the celebrity, but rather the attention was basically for the fact that a lot of people know this celebrity. You know, people get amazed at fame. We only value a lot of famous people just because they're famous. If they were not famous, if you remove their Instagram followers or their Twitter engagements, they're just an ordinary person. Even when you listen to a song, I think this is very relevant. A lot of people listen to different songs just because that song is famous. The song by itself would not be very good. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain this, but a lot of songs are trending just because they're trending. I mean, someone will come up to you and say, "Hey, have you heard this song? This song is trending." And you just check it up and you start to listen to it. Not because the song is good, just because everyone is listening to it. Maybe I can say it is like a circular, self-reinforcing system. This basically spans to different forms of entertainment, be it a movie, be it a song, be it a TV show, be it a festival. Everything is based on a collective agreement that we have built. Why does this movie matter? Why does this scandal matter? Just because everyone else thinks it matters. It's as simple as that. We're all following a collective agreement that we have amongst each other. A very crucial aspect of this is consumerism. When you want to buy something, if you actually ask to yourself, I had done a video on this previously, but if you ever asked yourself, do you actually want it? Or do you want others to see that you have it? It's called mimic needs. But I can relate mimic needs to this very concept. The reason is, let's say an iPhone came last week. Everyone is talking about it. Everyone is reading about it. Everyone is discussing the new features that's there in the iPhone. And suddenly you have this urge to go and buy it. But do you actually want it? I mean, like, you have the most recent iPhone. Do you actually need the new iPhone? Or do you just want to be in that flow and, you know, feel relevant that you also have an iPhone that's brand new with not much difference? Very often you don't want something because you want it, but because others think it's a big deal. This is what makes the designer bags and these expensive sneakers and luxury products very funny and very irrelevant, I guess. Irrelevant to reality. I mean, it's not real. The value is not real. It's just very temporary and it's just an illusion. So basically, the functionality has not changed. What has changed is the illusion. It functions, all of it, it functions the same way, but the illusion has changed. The problem is when we realize that a lot of things doesn't deserve the value that it has right now. People think that a luxury watch is objectively much better than a regular watch. People also think that a celebrity is objectively more interesting than ordinary people. And people also think that certain products are much superior just because it's trendy. The funniest thing is that we're all so deep in this agreement that we don't see there is an agreement. Does that make sense? We think that we're choosing things for ourselves. But the truth is, we're just following the herd. We're just a sheep in a big herd of sheeps. And it's just not us. Everyone is. Everyone is following the herd. Rarely people are making choices for themselves. So value comes from a collective agreement. Who gets to decide what we should value? The massive marketing agencies, the social platforms, the influencers, and the huge medias, they get to decide what we collectively agree upon. So these elements in a society, they drive the direction of a society because they get to decide what the society is agreeing upon collectively. So once a few people move, the rest are going to follow them either ways. A brand pays an influencer to market their product or to be their brand ambassador. Once this happens, people are going to see this and be like, yo, this celebrity or this influencer is using this, so I should definitely try it. And some of them would actually try. And this would create the hype and create the trend in the society. And all of a sudden, overnight, that particular product is going to get sold everywhere. It's going to get sold in every single store. And it's going to be out of stock. How did this happen all of a sudden? It is the very same product. The only thing that changed is the hype. So I've put things short. You value things because others also value it. Number 2, the things you think you want it just because everyone around you also want it. Money, status, influencers, products, trends, they're all manufactured, they're all controlled, and they're all just a massive collective illusion. And the moment people actually stop believing in it, everything collapses. A currency is just a piece of paper if everyone stops accepting it. A celebrity is just an ordinary person if he or she lost all the followers on Instagram. And a product gets uncool overnight, all of a sudden, if the collective agreement shifts to something else. We're all participating in a massive hallucination, and we call it a society.